This morning I awoke to sights and sounds of a bank robbery gone bad and hostage taking. And while I left and I went to work, I inquired and so forth. And when I came back in, I discovered that it ended. Both gunmen released the hostages and they surrendered. One person was the bank manager, was beaten badly because he alleged did not have the combination number to the safe or the vault. And he had to go into the next room, so they beat him up. But the question I'm asking, why would guys in this day and age try to rob the bank? Now, my understanding is that when they were hurrying into the bank, a passerby motorist saw them in masks and they're moving so briskly into the store, so he called 911. And there was a police car in the vicinity that converged on the bank, and it was on from there. Now, why again would folks want to rob the bank? I recommend that. I don't know how long they get in jail, maybe 15 years or more. But they could have held a job, say McDonald's, flipping burgers, car wash, picking corn, any menial thing, and they would have been ahead of the game as opposed to this bank robbery. Drug dealing and bank robberies, when you get a lot of money, where are you going to put it? You can't put it in the bank. You have the next problem, so it becomes so problematic. But on the other hand, you see, guns are readily available, so right away he has a gun, so armed robbery. And then he grew up watching, cheap shows, Sesame Street, Scooby Doo, um, this, that, and I often try to figure out, like, am I pursuing the American dream? What is the American dream? Some folks think that it's being able to eat all you want, have a nice, comfortable home with all the amenities, and to have kids that you spoil, and have some big bucks in the bank, and a nice car, and all this kind of stuff. That's the American dream. And I'm not sure. In my view, the American dream is you want to live your life and retire old and without a whole bunch of problems. Your kids were trained properly, they have their own education, they have their own life. They're not calling you up in the middle of the night, they need money for Pampers. You did not go into an exorbitant, outlay for housing and all these flashy stuff, so you don't have these big debt burdens. And you have a good education. You stayed away from the drugs, marijuana, cocaine, whatever, all these recreational drugs. You did not go into sexual perversion because you believe that love is much more than this sort of erratic fantasy that goes on, and real quick you get bored, and then you want to bring in the group and bring in the whips and the toys, and and so on. So you want to live to your last day with your strength that's comparable to your age, and everything is great. You have a big criminal record. That I seem to believe is it. But some people feel that they need all these flashy things, and they go out, spend beyond the means, try to rob the bank and all that stuff. Because you see, rarely you could plan a robbery so perfect that you may not be caught. They always are. Most of them are caught. Sometimes sooner or after, whatever they're caught, they leave the DNA, they leave the image somewhere. Somebody saw them driving up before and know them. Something always goes wrong. When something could go wrong, it will go wrong. So these guys now, for the last day of the year 2010, instead of them being able to welcome in 2011, they're held up in the lockups, maybe in the jail, and they're gonna either take a plea or they might go trial and found guilty. I don't know how it's gonna go down, but they get a long time in prison. And those years they spent in prison, when you divide up um, what they could have had, let me see, they had gotten away with 40 to 50,000. Between the two is 20,000. And you get 15 years. That's almost 130,000 a year. That's almost $100 a month, huh? So that I'm sure that working at McDonald's you make maybe $100 every 2 days perhaps, or every week. So you'd be ahead of the game. Plus you don't have this felony, and well, somebody had gotten killed. It was on. I mean, you're looking for, to be executed and so forth. So I hope that individuals would look at these things and see that, in spite of the hard times, it's better to just probably drop in by the food bank, drop in the mission, get you something to eat, be content with what you have, and just write out the thing and hope that it gets better, as opposed to going for the groove store and end up in worse problems. So these guys here, I hope they learn the lesson, and I hope that individuals in this new year will understand and don't take things much more difficult, much more higher, like blow up the whole bank and then try to get the money, some stupidness like that. Yeah, these guys were something else, man.